Interesting developments there on the front page this morning, and we have the pleasure to introduce to you the editor of 21st Century Chronicle. I beg your pardon, my friend and brother, and the brother to the house, Nuruddin Abdullah. It's a pleasure to have you join us this morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Nuruddin, as always, appears like a senator. I don't know whether he gets a senator's salary. But maybe someday he will explain the secret of this this good posture. So much on the front page this morning, starting with the former Deputy Senate President of Nigeria, who yesterday was involved in some messy transactions in the UK of alleged organ harvesting, and now docked till July 7. Tell us what we need to know about this development.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and I pity the senator because, if you know people who are managing kids with such ailment, you really need to pity the economists. Yes, but again, there are procedures. Yeah, there are procedures. When the news broke yesterday, all the major newspapers in the UK, The Guardian, Daily Mail, Telegraph, and so on, man and woman from Nigeria, talk about all this stuff. The whole thing now, Nigerians, the way we do things. Some section of the country, maybe it was a karma for not supporting a presidential candidate from the southeast. So journalists did that. I promptly sent him a message. I'm disappointed that in this era you think this way. Then there are, excuse me, sorry. There are explanations, sorry please, explanations and explanations. He immediately when he came out from court, we saw the paper, the letter he wrote for a visa, and some lawyers and what have you. I think more importantly, like you said, it's a lawyer. So they should save all the explanations to us. We don't need the explanations. He should clear himself with the UK authorities. You understand? And UK is not Nigeria. They have their laws. They have laws governing organ transplants. You understand? If you see the story, there are conflicting stories that the boy was taken there without even a homeless, like the stories are saying, a homeless young boy of 15. So generally, we are concerned because of Nigerian, our leaders, take things for granted, particularly here. But UK is a very serious country. It doesn't matter.
You talked about conflicting figures. I thought that too, because 1 minute they said the boy was 21. That's according to the passport that was procured for him.
Yes.
The next minute the explanation was that they had arrived and the organs didn't match. And the boy wanted to stay back in the UK and so showed up with the police to say he had been trafficked for organ, whatever. The next minute, you wonder whether you would have bothered to fly anybody to the UK to do a test when you could actually do preliminary investigations here in Nigeria. What lessons are there to learn for even people who have genuine, who want to approach these things for the right reasons?
Yes, and I don't even know why a person has to be taken from Nigeria to the UK. You can get the same thing over there. You understand? Yeah, there are better doctors, better facilities, and what have you. But, what you should understand is this thing took place last month. Yes, according to the story, it happened in May. These were at the end of June. The UK authorities are doing their investigations. If, for instance, like the Ekweremadus and his media handlers are saying, the matter shouldn't have been dragged to court. If there is no suspected wrongdoing. But it's the UK, not Nigeria. One phone call can put off all, but that doesn't happen in that climb. So we hope, like I said, I really pity him. He has a situation, having a child with a heart issue, So we hope he regulates himself. We hope that there is no wrongdoing. We hope that that boy, that homeless boy, is not being taken advantage of and the thing backfired. That is it. But only the courts in the UK can decide that. But those who are saying that it's a karma for him because he did not support Peter Obi and what that is ridiculous, to say the least.
It was a political season and everything has
Yeah,
to be
exactly,
a political twist.
exactly.
Well, just before we move away from this particular story, so just like you said, when the story broke, most of the papers there in the UK were saying Nigerian man and woman. What sort of ramifications will that have for us as Nigerians? It's our image that is there.
Yes, but don't forget, before Ekweramadu, it was in the UK that we had Darie, a former governor, was arrested for money laundering. The Met Police, they are serious chaps. Don't forget Alamesia, a governor of an oil-rich Bayelsa. Don't even forget Ibori. We couldn't prosecute him here. He was arrested in Dubai by the Interpol, prosecuted and jailed in the UK. So they know us very well. Yes, you remember there was a time, I think it was the Telegraph, they did a story of a particular Nigerian leader whose kids were attending one of the most expensive schools in the UK, University of Surrey. In fact, I think it was Telegraph, yes, they were even calling on the government to cut all manner of grant and aids. They said that our kids don't go to that school. Why are we giving these people money? Instead of doing better things with it, they are sending that straight back to. So, that is how the environment. And, like their media is not like what we have here. Same headline if the Queen is involved. Yeah, so they have that freedom compared to us. If you look at the slant of the story here, from what you read, there are some, but like I said, the Ekweramadu actually maybe were desperate. But even when you are desperate, it's the UK, not Nigeria. Don't break the law. Don't put the life of another person in danger, particularly a homeless boy, who is simply homeless because he's a Nigerian, because the money meant for, maybe his parents maybe were killed, or they were so poor, they were pensioners out of it. No money out of you. So he doesn't even have a roof over his head. He's a victim of the corrupt system we have here. But we shouldn't take advantage of him. So we hope that, we pray that the former Senate President clear himself, and he return back to us.
Interesting development. I can assure you that we will keep an eye on this development and serve you whatever comes up. I'm sure as the days go by, we will have more and more development in this area. Let us move to the realms of politics. It appears to be the season, and we seem to have a gale of deflection hanging over our heads from the Senate. We also understand that the party chairman tried to make some last-minute move to get them to ditch, and even making some promises. I wonder what those promises are. But does it not look familiar? This is beginning to look like a repeat of what we have seen over the years. What does it tell us?
So, when I saw the party chairman, Senator Abdullah Adamu, he's a veteran politician. It seems that his experiences are failing him. Maybe because of age. He's one of the most sagacious politicians we have around. Maybe age and what if what is happening is not unexpected, Mr. Sandeep. because we are transitioning from to another. The sitting president is not contested. The sitting governors, majority of them, are equally not contested. So that explains the mass failure by the lawmakers. But I don't have the statistics, but from 1999 to date, is the normal thing. More than half of the lawmakers don't return, even on a normal election cycle. Not to talk of where they are transiting. Mr. Ibrahim, if you are a governor of a state, you know, you can't retire to your home. No, you retire to the National Assembly. So, notwithstanding
That's
who is there.
That's a Nigerian normal global.
You
global.
can't go back to your village or whatever you know. You retire to the National Assembly. So whoever is there
Needs to move.
take it for instance, in 2019, Bukar Abba
Ibrahim.
was governor for 10 years. 1992 in Yobe State, 1999 to 2007. He retired to the National Assembly. 1999 to 2007, 2015, 2011, 2011, 2015 to 2019. But his successor is equally retiring to the National Assembly. He has to give way. The same thing with the Rima, Ahmed Sani. So it's a normal trend. But like you said, the man is promising what he can apparently. Okay, how is he going to do it?
Well, there is a purported, well, I think they've gone past that level. Maybe a ministerial offering in the next government, perhaps.
So that is it. The lawmakers are the biggest casualties. I know because the governors are so powerful. You see a sitting Senate president battling for a return ticket. Maybe you must have been misadvised by his party leader. You know. It was an easy thing. Tambol did it. A sitting governor, Bala Mohammed Abouchi, did it. I think, no, Badaro is not coming. So the Umahi, Ben Ayade, they all bought their Senate tickets. And they ensured that they went for the screening. Because, you know, the Electoral Act 2022
It's different.
is very, very different. So I don't know. Well, we're talking about mass defection. Yeah, certainly there will be mass defection. Because if you see what, you remember what the speaker said, Bajabi Amila, less than 2/3 of the 360 House of Reps members did not get their tickets of the party, of their parties. Including, you know, the most surprising, including a senator from Bauchi State, Senator Gumo, who vowed, when, you know, when Senator Wakili died in 2018, you know, there was by-election and you know, his campaign was basically to make law that will make President Buhari a live president. It was on that premise that he wrote to the National Assembly. He was re-elected in 2019. Now he couldn't get the APC ticket. He has dumped the party. But I was are you that is in the National Assembly principally to make law that will make Buhari live president of
Maybe his
Nigeria.
ambition.
Now you are dumping the party.
His ambition has expired since the president will not stand. Isn't it better that he goes back to continue?
So if you have moved to
NNPP,
you know, whatever, you know, if you lose your APC, PDP, and you can't get the ticket, and you know, something happened that is very fundamental, particularly the primaries. Even the brief case, with all apology to the promoters of these political parties, you know, we have briefcase political parties. You are the chairman. They have only an office, one shop in Abuja, and nothing else. You understand? So even those political parties, you know, that people just move into. A former deputy governor, a deputy governor of the central bank, was defeated people thought that, no, I said, Brian, let me just give them 1 million, 2 million. No, they said now there will be election. That former deputy governor who has been on the race for more than 8 years has been defeated. He was called, I saw him on TV cursing and you understand? Yeah. So not only that, even other smaller, let me use smaller, not briefcase, smaller
handbags maybe.
Political parties. We are equally trying to be more serious. Actually, you can't just, but you know, like the NNPP, particularly in the north, whenever the situation is not clear, we thought that even the Senate President will move to
NNPP. Well, it seems like those smaller parties have actually provided an escape route for a lot of these guys to actually move to. But still, we have seen some movement between the two major political parties. Now, I don't know, it's a question that I always want to ask, but I think I'll just put it to you since you're here. If somebody loses from one of the major political parties, that's the main, let's say the ruling party now, APC, and then you move to the PDP, what do they stand to gain by moving to the PDP at this particular point in time when all the other slots, the PDP have already concluded their own primaries as well? So what are they going to go, what are they willing to pick up?
Okay, two things, fundamentally. If they can't get it, nobody should get it. Anti-party activities. You know, there are areas where take the APC, for instance. The presidential candidate of the APC, Asiwaju Tinubu, went to Lagos only last week. When did the convention take place? Because he was busy, including people that we know are mediocres. He visited even people that got 0 votes. But at least they spent 100 million to purchase the form. So, you know, he went around to pacify them, to promise them, you know, and what have you. There are people that, if they feel aggrieved and they leave the party, they have followers, and they can inflict very mortal, some do not, you know. So, and the fact remains that some do that because, okay, I'm supposed to get this, but most of the time they get it, so I will ensure that he doesn't get it. We better lose. So we can go and support another far smaller candidate from maybe a nondescript party to win. And again, the question we should even ask is this. So the concern of our politicians is about winning elections. I bet you, if you ask even the lawmakers, what is the manifesto of APC? Majority of them cannot tell you. Or what is the manifesto of PDP? They cannot tell you. Go to the United States, for instance. We have the Republicans, we have the Democrats. Tell me one senatorial candidate that loses a nomination and the next hour you see him jump into it. No! If you are a Democrat, you are a Democrat. If you are a Republican, you are a Republican, or whether a hawk, a dove, or what have you. But here it's about, I'm concerned about winning an election. So I use whatever means possible. That's why they cross carpet shamelessly. And look at the governors. Umahi Obibonyi cross-carpeted from PDP to APC. I said it here. If he had contested under the APC, would he have won? No. Ben Ayade defected to the ruling party. Do you know to do what? To grab a Senate ticket.
And ended up.
Yes. Simple. But even as it is now, what assurance does he have that he will make it? So, you know, these are some of the issues. You know, we have, they have rubbished the entire political ecosystem, particularly, and that's one of the problems of liberal democracy in Africa. Unlike Al Gore was vice president, McCain wanted to be president for all these years. Did he change his Republican? No. Or even Biden, and so on and so forth. But here, because the major concern is the meal ticket. A poor man, a homeless man on the street is scrambling to eat. The people at the top are equally scrambling to eat. It's not about food. It's a complete rat race. So that is it. So it's about elections. How do I win? Ask them, what is the manifesto of APC? You'll be disappointed.
Interesting.
Or PDP. So that is how the whole system has been
messed up.
Rubbish.
Unfortunately, we move on quickly. The fuel queues. Is it right to say they are back or they never left? Or they are getting worse?
They took a break, I think. They went on hiatus for a couple of days. And
and then we are seeing bickering left, right, and center. The depot, Ipman telling the NNPC to address profiteering at the depot. Some other group threatening that they will raise prices unilaterally without the supervising agencies of government making those pronouncements. What amount of mess are we? I mean, especially given that the president is the Minister of Petroleum.
You mean it?
But he is.
Oh, I see. Like you rightly know, the problem started with the deregulation of that sector by Buhari's administration. You can't deregulate and put a benchmark again. No. When they did it, remember, we did so many stories. We say no. It's about, if for instance now it's a local production, it's understandable. But these people are using Forex to import this product. And you put a cap. When you deregulate, you allow market forces to determine the price. And the ideal thing is, and it shouldn't be one price regime for
every part of the country.
The trucking costs from Lagos to Yobe, to Maiduguri, to Jigawa, to Sokoto. And you are saying that fuel must be sold at the same price in Lagos, Ogun, Ibadan, Borno, Jigawa, Kano, and Sokoto? No. These are those things, that they just did. Our politicians, they just play to the gallery. When the PPRA did that, we question it. We say, this cannot stand. There are inflations. He deregulated what was the dollar official rate at that time. You stopped Forex supply to the importers. They have to source it now at 600, and they buy it, and they bring in the product, and now you want them to sell as 145 or whatever. So that is the beginning of the problem. It was not well thought of, the removal of subsidy. He denied that he even succeeded because he believed that he was the one that built the now moribund refineries. When he came, he was first with subsidy. The simple thing to do was, okay, during the previous administration, there was corruption. Drastically reduce the apertures that enable this corruption cases. 2022, we have budgeted 4 trillion. The World Bank and the IMF are saying that the figure may rise to almost 6 to 7 trillion. Understand? So that is it. You are spending more on subsidy. You cut, okay, now it's under recovery, right? So the thing is even more opaque now. Nobody knows what is happening. NNPC is the apex regulator of the extractive industry. They are the sole importers. They are the partners in all your JVCs. Look at the confusion. But unfortunately, he thought that maybe his mere presence. The man, the president doesn't understand the extractive industry. That's the truth. So you can see from one problem to that. Now, the last time that they brought this toxic adulterated oil, they were trading blames. No, it was MRS, it was Owando. He said, no. So now NNPC is the sole importer. Now they are doing under recovery. They import, they give you figures, they go to FAC, they will say that there is no money. I want to see. So look at the confusion, and there are full queues. So we hope maybe they will do the...
But with this analysis that you just gave right now, it doesn't seem like there's any end in sight.
It doesn't. Look at, and again, we have the PIA.
That has been suspended, by the way.
That's another problem. If you want to shoot, don't talk. The PIA, do you know what I wanted the man to do? He should have been man enough. Deregulate fully. Remove subsidy. Allow market forces to be at play. You can't say that fuel must be sold the same price in Lagos, Jigawa, and what have you. You are importing up to now. Okay, no, there is a way out. The Dangote refinery.
Okay. Okay.
That's another story for another day.
That's what all the ministers are saying. No, all these queues will. But Dangote refinery may be not in the next 1 year. The way it is.
Interesting. I will take your thoughts 30 seconds before we go. ISWAP again sacks military base and cut away weapons in Borno. They seem to be conducting fantastic attack these days. I mean, in the last 1 year, we don't seem to have made any kind of incursion into the ISWAP. No major arrests, nothing. They will hit, what do you call it, a prison in Lokoja. They will hit bases, cut away weapons. What's happening? And then the president keeps renewing directive. He gives the fresh one, he renews it, he reinforces, he reiterates directive. What's going on?
You know, I said it here that ISWAP is deadlier than the Sheikh Boko Haram. They conduct surgical operations with 100% precision. They cut away weapons. So in their own operation, you know, they are no longer doing what Sheikh was doing, bombing markets and what have you. Now they know what they are after. But unfortunately, our security chiefs are still maybe dozing or what have you. And very terrible for us because they are making headway. If they are recording successes, what does it mean? They are expanding their recruitment base. And you know, now they do, what have you. Now we only repel. Yes. You'll see the military reaction. They will say they repel. So the military will sit down. These people will come and attack them. And before they repel them. And you know, look at the incursion. They are in Kaduna. They are in Kogi, Taraba.
And the one in Owo was also blamed on them
look at it.
Based on intelligence.
Based on intelligence. And now we're hearing some people who are caught, some people who are saying they don't know the people who are caught. And it's neither here nor there.
You know, the whole thing is being treated like this herbalist lawyer.
What a jovial way to draw this to a close. We wish we could keep Nuruddin in the studio for longer. There are so many issues begging to be addressed. If that is what we do here, or provide perspective or in-depth for viewers at home. But that's the much we can keep him. That's the much time we permit. Thank you very much for finding time.